This is a news update featuring from AFRICUNIA television studios, bringing you updates from the African scene, the foreign scene, and the world of sport. My name is Deborah Ezeh. On the African scene today, our first stop is Mali. Mali's parliament voted on Monday a plan allowing the transitional government, headed by Colonel Assimi Goïta, to rule for up to 5 years. In line with a proposal by the transitional government, 120 members of Mali's 121-seat interim parliament voted to adopt the bill during a section exclusively dedicated to examination of the draft law on the revision of the transitional charter. The new charter comes after regional sanctions hit the country in January over delayed elections. This delay contributed to worsening an already surging relation with France, which eventually decided to withdraw troops from Mali. And a Sudan Thousands rallied in capital Khartoum, carrying the Sudanese flags and posters of people killed during anti-coup demonstrations in recent months. Security forces fired tear gas and wounded several protesters who were heading towards the presidential palace in central Khartoum. Regular protests have rocked the northeast African country since Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan led a military takeover in October, sparking international condemnation. And now we head to Nigeria, where following the federal government's plan to extend the fuel subsidy regime by 18 months, the International Monetary Fund has said Nigeria will likely depend on overdrafts from the Central Bank of Nigeria to fund its proposed 2.55 trillion naira petrol subsidy bill. The IMF said this in its Nigeria Selected Issue Paper report, which was prepared by a staff team of the fund as background documentation for its periodic consultation with Nigeria. Now, according to the report, fuel subsidy negatively affects the country's fiscal position, increasing fiscal deficits. Despite much higher oil prices, the general government's fiscal deficit is projected to significantly worsen at 6.3% of the GDP compared to 4.7% of GDP in 2020, Article 4 staff report. And still in Nigeria, as part of efforts to end coups in West Africa, the Economic Community of West Africa States Council of WISE, Ecowas yesterday commenced a 2-day retreat and workshop in Lagos. The workshop aims, among other things, to develop modalities for operationalization of the Council and for members and the Ecowas Commission to jointly develop and validate a 1-year plan of action. Chairman of Ecowas and former President of Nigeria, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, in his welcome speech, said the meeting would debrief and brainstorm on strategies for the COW to swiftly respond to and mitigate growing peace and security challenges in the region. And now on to the foreign scene. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison said an Australian surveillance plane was doing its job when it was put under threat with a laser from a Chinese Navy ship, rejecting Beijing's assertion for the plane came too close. It detected a laser emanating from a People's Liberation Army Navy plane last Thursday, and Australia released photographs of 2 Chinese vessels sailing close to its north coast. Australia's Department of Defense said on Tuesday that the aircraft dropped sonarbars after lasing incidents and that the surveillance devices aren't a shipping hazard. And still on the foreign scene, the United States and its European allies are poised to announce harsh new sanctions against Russia on Tuesday after President Vladimir Putin formally recognized 2 breakaway regions in eastern Ukraine, escalating the security crisis on the continent. The Ukrainian military said 2 soldiers were killed and 12 wounded in shelling by pro-Russian separatists in the east in the past 24 hours, the most casualties this year as ceasefire violation increased. Putin's announcement on Monday drew international condemnation and immediate U.S. sanctions, with President Joe Biden signing an executive order to halt U.S. business activity in the breakaway borders. And in China, China is concerned about the worsening situation in Ukraine. Foreign Minister Wang Yi said on Tuesday, repeating his call for all parties to show restraint and resolve differences through dialogue. The legitimate security concerns of any country should be respected, Wang, who is also a Chinese state counselor, told U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on a phone call. According to a Chinese Foreign Ministry statement, accelerating a crisis the West fears could spark a war, Russian President Putin on Monday ordered the deployment of troops to 2 breakaway regions in the eastern Ukraine after recognizing them as independent. Now we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll give you more updates on the sports scene. Stay with us. And now welcome back. Now looking into the sports scene, Ajax will pay 7.85 million euros to the family of former player Nouri after he suffered serious brain damage due to inadequate medical care. Midfielder Nouri made his senior debut in 2016-17, but his playing career was ended prematurely after he suffered a cardiac arrest in a pre-season match against Werder Bremen in Austria in 2017. Despite being revived on the pitch and rushed to a hospital, Nouri suffered serious and permanent brain damage. Ajax admitted later that the medical care in the acute phase on the field was not adequate and acknowledged liability for the consequences. Ajax said they had reached an agreement with Nouri's family and that proceedings before an arbitration committee had been terminated as a result of the amicable settlement. And finally, Bradford City have indefinitely suspended a supporter accused of racist abuse at this month's league match against Ezeh City, pending a police inquiry. The individual was removed from Bradford's Valley Paris Stadium on February 12th after directing racist remarks towards the field during the League 2 match. The suspension is indefinite, with police now handling the matter. A club statement read, Bradford City AFC has issued an indefinite suspension pending a police inquiry after a racially aggravated public order offense at this month's game against Ezeh City. And now that's all from us on News Update today. To stay connected and up to date with news and subsequent programs bulletin lined up for you, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, and leave a comment for us on the comment section. Follow all our social media platforms on Jointum, Pangram, Instagram, and Facebook respectively. My name is Deborah Ezeh. Many thanks for watching.